Well, setting the tone for being able to speak to investors in this extremely important platform that I'm so excited to present is one to bring together just a few problems that we have and to tidy that up with a solution by merging two separate platforms that I'm blessed to say that exist today, that are already working, they're working strong. By bringing them together can create something that is absolutely a financial windfall, not only for investors to see, but something that they can feel good being a part of. And I think that's the other thing too, is while making money's great, it's always good to be a part of something that's special that you can wrap your head around, at least for some, I think. And so the problem that I see, first and foremost, we have, 2 million realtors that are out there in a part-time to a full-time process that are absolutely becoming irrelevant here over the next 5, 10, 15 years. Internet programs, AI, those type of things right now are really going to sacrifice at least a good 80% of the marketplace for realtors. I mean, we're going to be looking for other things to do. The 10 to 20% always seem to find a way through to make it to the next level, to weather the storm, so to speak. But if you've got that many people out there, that's 1.8, 1.6 million people that are going to be out of work. And so when I looked at a process over 10 years ago, before I came to real estate, there was a particular product in the marketplace, very unique in what it was able to do. Something absolutely, if I fast forward to today, that has not been duplicated for the consumer and in debt matters. And when you look at literally, we have gone backwards each generation to try to make things relevant when it comes to finances in our life. That on my watch, we have literally our kids that have been collateralized in the middle of the night at the federal level when it comes to education. $100,000-$200,000 for just a simple degree today. You would see that for someone looking to be a doctor or a lawyer back in my day, and we don't have 10 times the earnings today to justify that. So, $1 trillion out there in student loans. We look at the debt in America. We have $170 trillion that's going to be in a negative situation when we look at the LIBOR. By 2021, people's mortgages. There's some fine print there that people are going to, be forced into something else. We don't know what. That's around the corner, but the fact that credit card debt's up, that we're just continuing to spin our wheels, is something that is very, very tough. Well, we've got a process here where the average client, through a little over 4,000 people through our beta testing, were able to get out of debt, and instead of 28 years, the average was 10.4. And that was great news, but saving over $100,000 that they had already committed to spending was also better news. And when polled on what was the most important thing to them, they said that regaining their stress, getting that back, is extremely positive. Now, like I said, we fast forward to today, and no one's been able to duplicate this system. It's something like no one's ever seen before. And the reason that I'm taking this process and merging it with a program for realtors is very simple. I believe that a message today, one that can really make a difference, is one that has the right vehicle, has the right voice behind it. Here we have a consumer and we have a realtor, and that should be a symbiotic, a relationship that people can count on. But unfortunately for us realtors, we see a lot of the for sale by owner. We see a lot of programs popping up saying, hey, save $7,500 in fees, and hey, we sold our home for $25,000 over asking price. And some of those things are built on hype. They're not built on math. They're not built on longevity. They're built on, yes, it's a seller's market. What happens when it returns? Where's that relationship with your realtor that really matters? Well, at the end of the day, because finances are so out of whack, we need to save every dollar that we can. The marketplace is telling us that these programs are going to pop up like wildfire over the next 5 years. That's where we're becoming extinct as realtors. So as an investor, what I'm looking to do here is to pose an extremely large marketplace with a huge problem and marry that with consumers today that absolutely are looking for something, to help them in their debt matters. Bottom line to it is there's a paradigm shift that's happening, and it's either going to be the one that we accept or the one that we're forced into when it comes to our finances. And at the end of the day, we may not want to be in control of everything, but I think that Americans are ever increasingly looking at ways to be more in control of their finances, and not just stay within their means, but to have their money work for them, to help cut the fat out of their interest. And we have something phenomenal here that works. It works great, and we've got plenty of testimonies. We have plenty of proven facts on this process. So what we want to do is to be able to arm real estate agents. And by being a real estate agent, I know that realtors do not want to get out of their lane. They don't want to take a skew that's going to take them off point. Our job is to help people buy, sell, or invest in real estate. But we took a simple function that realtors do to try to get business, and where they're kind of looking for that diamond in the rough. And now we have an opportunity, instead of hearing no, 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 no all the time, hoping that if we make 100 phone calls, we get 1 or 2 yeses, that we can take every single phone call, turn that into a yes, absolutely put people in front of better information, and also have a side stream of income where we never, as realtors, have to sell anything, get out of our lane. We just plug people into great information through this particular program. And that's what's really exciting, because it feeds our pipeline. It allows us to look great through this program. I've also created the 30 years of real estate, what that looks like for a consumer. Imagine that. No one ever looks that far ahead. No one ever talks that language. But if I had a program indeed, and this is what I want investors to hear, if I indeed had a program that was going to help people have their debts paid off, the average in 10 years. We've had a lot between 5 and 7, a lot, after that, but 10 years. Then imagine if we're refinancing every 2 to 3 years and our average client starts out at 28. Let's just say that we take the original home and they have that paid off in 10 years, okay? Right prior to that, if we were speaking with that client about what their dream home would look like, their vacation home would look like, we're now filling a void that's out there today. That next step, what do I do and when do I do it? Instead of refinancing, getting caught into that debt, we see light at the end of the tunnel. We see an increased value in having our home paid off and using that as the original investment property, or basically using that as a stepping stone to our dream home. And then we push the button again, and let's just say it takes 10 years to pay the dream home off. Nice thing is we had increased money either from the equity of the sale of the first property, or we have money coming in every single month from the rental of that property that increases our value. And then we turn around and do the same thing for the vacation home. So in the same 30-year mortgage, imagine this is what you're getting behind as an investor. You're getting behind a process that, by math, not by magic, not fantasy land. I'm not selling a stable full of unicorns out back. We're just showing people, based on their current life right now, the job that they have, the work they have, what they do on the weekends, their lifestyle, how they stay in that box, that comfort zone, how they absolutely, by math, can now go from one to the other and have it all within that 30-year mortgage. Remember, investment home, dream home, vacation home. They can have it all in the same 30-year mortgage. That has value, that has teeth, and especially since we're using math as the guide stone for each client, it's their reality, it's not someone else's. From that, imagine the realtor that has that information, putting that in front of their clients. We encourage them also to be a product of the product. I mean, most realtors are going to have debts. That 61% of realtors are females. A lot are single moms. Imagine them being on a proven track that's going to have them, gain control of those finances, get out of debt, have that stress off their shoulders. Having that process, we know 50% of the battle is the passion you have by being able to sell a great idea, your story. And so when people get to say, yeah, not only am I sharing something great with my consumer, I'm a part of the process. I have it. Jim and I are on this program. This is what it's doing for us. Then we can tell that good news, and by that, people are curious. They want to find out what their numbers are. And when they call in and they get that, consultation, that complimentary consultation that's offered by a coach that's been with the company maybe 10, 14 years. This is extremely exciting. to be able to have the non-compete on this, where no one else can go out and grab this and go materialize this down the road, is something that I'm very blessed to have underneath this format. I would want an exclusive. I wouldn't want someone to take this great energy and be able to do this with someone else and build their own realtors program. But when you look at this and you see that financially, Pete, we're going to have a better answer, since every other program out there is making it about money. What we're able to do is to now make it about money too. And normally we could not do that because we don't control the marketplace. We don't control the economy. We don't control stigmatized properties and what's going on there. We control zero of that. So to really talk about money is very, very difficult. As a realtor, we have to sell, people, or share with people what the advantages are that we can help provide them in the marketplace to get their home sold sooner, or why they should select us. Now we can do something that levels the playing field for every single realtor, regardless if it's your first day or your 10,000th day, and really bring a core process, right to realtors that they can stand on, that drives their program by math and excitement, and it does great. And that right there is what I think is really, really special. So not only do we have something that works for that consumer, that allows them to take advantage of something, regardless if they're ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, it gives them something to anchor down and engender themselves to that realtor. Because you know what, if I save $100,000, $162,000. Each person's different. My highest client spent $385,000 over a brand new home they had gotten themselves into, and debts they had already previously had. That's huge. Okay, would they ever look anywhere else? There's not a cold market plan out there today that can take my client away. And last time I did math, even if you could save $7,500 in fees, and someone took $25,000 over the list price, that still doesn't add up to the average client saving $100,000 and being out of debt faster and regaining their stress in my process. And so we still get to keep that lukewarm relationship. We get that referral base. That's what this whole platform for realtors is all about, is to give them something at the core that drives their business, does it mathematically, feeds their pipeline, and always has purpose well beyond anything out there today. And once again, this 30-year platform, being able to sit down with your client and map out what they're seeing on TV, these programs, they're seeing these homes out there today. They can, get their vacation home. They can do these upgrades and have this big, huge, humongous pool or other things. What's going to pay for that? It's literally a process that allows them to cut the fat out of the interest for what they've already paid for. How we're going to do that is we're going to be able to relate to that realtor by that consumer through the realtor by having different videos. Those videos will be topics of the for sale by owner, the buyer, the seller, and also the referral market. So each person is going to have a little different of information in there that will bring to reality. That it's kind of an identifying process to say, hey, this is where we know you're at, and this is what's going on, and this is what we'd like to do to help make that whole. And we're going to prove to that each and every one of those people that paying that 6% commission to realtors is a drop in the bucket. It's really a drop in the bucket compared to what we're going to be sharing with that client through this process, okay? And I think that that's special. Who wants to hop over, dollars to save nickels? We really bring that out, and we have some really good videos that we're going to be having professionally shot, third parties that are really identifying right in the living room of the individual, and then also being able to get that information, see how this process works, and to really make sure that that client feels something great. I think that as an investor, I think what I want to say is that I've thought of every single step in this process to really make a huge difference. When you start to see the numbers, when we talk about your part and where you would like to invest in and what you'd like to see in realization come back to you, we want to have that discussion. I want to be able to sit down and do that to where it benefits you. I'm also going to show you the videos. I'm going to show you some off takes just like what we're doing right here, and you're going to be able to see me speaking and talking to the level of this process, because I want you to see more. I think that this is going to be very powerful. It's going to be very exciting. I know this has been long and drawn out, but to really have something this special, something this good, something of this value, I believe there's details that need to be put into this. So imagine, once again, 2 million realtors out there are now going to have something as a core process that drives their business by math, that's taking care of a huge problem in the marketplace where consumers today are saying, I need more money, I've got money issues. Now we're going to hit the money answer for them. We're going to do it right now instead of when they're ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and we're going to help open that SKU up. It's also going to help realtors bring a few dollars back to their base while they're doing the work that they're doing. It's kind of a thankless job when you collect a bunch of no's in a day, but you've done a lot of work, you farmed, you put your time into it. Why not get paid something back for that without you having to get out of your lane, so by staying in that. And then also something that honestly the consumer out there today can really feel special about, having the right realtor, having someone that really cares enough to take the extra steps to share with them things to keep them in balance. I think the old adage of, realtors are just sitting by the phone waiting for you to call with their feet up on the desk and they just push some paperwork to get a deal done and they make too much money is really a fable. And right now we're fighting for our existence. I think that I hope investors hear that. And that's the thing that we're going to share with the consumer as well, that we still want to keep this symbiotic relationship going that we all benefit from, our families benefit from. We still are important as long as we want to be realtors and as long as consumers want to use us. So that's going to be the value. So I'm going to break down some other things here within the platform, not only just for the consumer, but also for the realtors to kind of answer some more questions. If you need some more details, I'll be more than glad to put that out there. If you are willing to sign a non-disclosure, I'll give you the background of the company with the product in the marketplace. It's been going strong. I love this because it's almost like getting involved on a ground floor process without having the ground floor ramp up and the question marks of will it survive, will it make it, will I ever get my money. Also, you'll probably want to be a product of the product. This is another thing I extend to the investors, is that you'll have an opportunity to have this, and I don't know what that's going to do for you financially, but if you're an average client, at least $100,000 is probably what you're going to be able to see back. So I think that this is going to be something special for everyone involved, so I hope that this has got your attention and you're willing to ask some more questions. Thank you.